This is the second video on solving using the quadratic formula. So when you use your quadratic formula, you want to make sure that your function is in standard form before you start solving, which means get everything on one side so you have 0 on the other side. So that 7, we'll go ahead and subtract the 7 from both sides. So we have 2x squared plus x minus 7 equals 0. Alright, now that it's in standard form, we'll want to go ahead and identify our a, b, and c values. Remember, a is the number in front of x squared, which is 2, b is the number in front of the x, which is 1, and c is the number without the x, which is a negative 7. Alright, I haven't actually talked about what the quadratic formula is yet. That was on the last video. So I'll go ahead and write it up here. We have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Alright, so, yep, to the song, that's the way to do it, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug in our a, b, and c values into the quadratic formula. So x equals negative, and then our b value is just a 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 1 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is a negative 7, all over 2. Oops. Alright, so after we have everything set up, the first thing I want you guys to do is work on simplifying the square root, the number underneath there. So if you notice, you have a 1 squared, which is 1. Negative 4, treat that like a negative 4 times 2, which is a negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 7 is a positive 56. So we have 57. So x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 57 over 4. Now, do we know the square root of 57? Is that one of our perfect square numbers? It's not, so that's when you can go ahead and grab a calculator and figure out what the square root of 57 is. So you're going to do negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 57. I'm just going to round to 1 decimal place as a 7.5 over 4. Alright, so from here what we're going to do is we're going to deal with that plus or minus next. We want to break the problem apart into 2 parts. You're going to have negative 1 plus 7.5 over 4, and then negative 1 minus 7.5 over 4. So a negative 1 plus 7.5 is a 6.5 over 4. And then you can just divide that out on your calculator. And we get 1.625. Alright, now the next one, negative 1 minus 7.5 is a negative 8.5 over 4. And then we'll go ahead and divide that out. And we get a negative 2.125. I think I'm running out of room. 125. Alright, so our solve for x, we get a 1.625 and then a negative 2.125. Again, those are x-intercepts on a graph, and we found them with the quadratic formula.